Ladies and gentlemen, Seattle, Washington, we came here today to honor the voice of our great city and the greatest sportscaster to ever call the greatest game ever, baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Niehaus. Now, I used to sit with my dad in the garage, the sawdust, pine selling that moss around every spring. When that winter thaw, huddle around the radio, twist the broken knobs, 7:10 a.m. No KJR, Dave Niehaus's voice echoed throughout the yard. Couldn't have been older than 10. To me and my friends, that voice on the other end might as well have been God's. 1995, the division series, Eggers up to bat, bottom of the 11th inning, got the whole town listening, swung on and belted. The words distorted, Joey Cole rounds third. Here comes Griffey, the throw to the plate, not in time. My oh my, the Mariners win it. Yes, fireworks, they lit up that ceiling in the King Dome. We had just made history, like. Lace woven, barely holding that stitch. Creases the time amongst the crime and the grit. When the leather, he used to pound his fist. But some it's just a myth, but see that glove was him. Yeah, tell me stories on the field with that sun-stained brim. Blood under my chin, taught me how to spit. Sunflower seeds back with me and my crew. Sunburnt arms, big league chew. Yeah, we were like the salad after dinner. After practice, we listened to the M's in the kitchen. And if mom wasn't tripping, come on, dad, please, I swear, one more inning. Voice would punk through the system. Break out the rye bread. It's grand salami time, my oh my, another victory, yes. My city childhood, my life watching Griffey right under those lights.
And welcome to the initial voyage of the Seattle Mariners. Diego Segui, the first pitch in history of this flight.
Get out the rye bread and the mustard this time, Grandma! It is a grand salami! The Mariners are on their way to the American League Championship!
There will be several bigger names after me to win this award, but no one will ever be more appreciative.
Even in that night came, can't stop now, keep moving, no break pass. Came here to prove a point, that my life on the field, make history in between the base path. And compete against the fear that is in me, my only barrier. I swear that I'ma break that. From the mud, the cleats that we trode through the feet, this is that moment, you cannot take it back. And I don't really collect cards anymore. It's the box, some old cardboard. Memories embedded in that dust. Vibra's the age just like us. Living somewhere up in a drawer. And this is what you make of it. Yeah, we play to win. Live it like we're under the lights of the stadium. Fight until the day that God decides to wave us in. Right until he waves us in. It's my city childhood, my life, that's right. Under those lights. It's my city childhood. That's right, Niehaus, my oh my, come on. It's my city childhood, my life, that's right. Under those lights, it's my city childhood. That's right, Niehaus, my oh my. Rest in peace.
The Mariners thank Seattle recording artists Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, along with their talented accompanying musicians, including the Garfield High School Drumline. Ladies and gentlemen, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Thank you. This evening, throughout this season and for years to come, the Mariners and fans all across the Northwest will remember the man who broadcast nearly every game in Mariners history, Dave Niehaus. At this time, we direct your attention to the video screen Earlier this afternoon, members of the Seattle City Council announced the honorary renaming of part of First Avenue South in front of Safeco Field as Dave Niehaus Way. Members of the Niehaus family and fans joined the Seattle City Council for the unveiling of Seattle's newest street name. Joining us now on field behind home plate, please welcome City Council members Sally Clark and Bruce Harrell, along with fellow members of the City Council. And also joining us tonight, Seattle Mayor Mike McGinn. Today has been proclaimed Dave Niehaus Day in Seattle, King County, and throughout the state of Washington. Thank you, members of the City Council and Mayor McGinn, for joining us on this special night. During the 2011 season, the Mariners will wear a commemorative patch on the right sleeve of their jersey in honor of Dave. That same mark bearing Dave's name and signature call, My Oh My, will also be displayed all season on the outfield wall in right center field. And at this time, we direct your attention to the Dave Niehaus Broadcast Center above home plate, standing by to unveil a tribute that will forever be a part of Safeco Field. Art J. Buhner, producer-engineer Kevin Kremen, and longtime broadcast partners Ron Fairley and Rick Riz. Thank you, Jay, Kevin, Ron, and Rick. Dave Niehaus was a part of our lives. We welcomed his voice as a sign that spring had returned. His signature calls and wonderful stories were the soundtrack of our summer. And in the fall of 1995, Dave took us on a magical ride to Grandma's house and beyond. When we lost Dave this past winter, we felt like we lost a member of our own family. From fans to players to personnel, Dave was the patriarch of the Mariners family. And while Dave loved and cared deeply for the Seattle Mariners, he loved nothing more in life than his own family. He was blessed with his loving wife, 3 wonderful children, and 7 beautiful grandchildren. We direct your attention to the field as the Mariners are proud to welcome the members of the Niehaus family. On the way to the mound are Dave's daughter, Greta Niehaus Dunn, along with her husband, Steve, and children Stephen, Audrey, and Madeline. Dave's sons, Matt Niehaus and Andy Niehaus, along with Andy's wife, Tammy, and their children, Destiny, Spencer, Lexi, and Zach, who was unable to join us this evening. And throwing out tonight's ceremonial first pitch, please welcome Dave's wife, Marilyn Niehaus. Thank you, Marilyn. The Mariners thank you, Andy, Matt, Greta, the entire Niehaus family for joining us and being a part of this special night. Once again, Marilyn Niehaus, the Niehaus family.
Standing ovation for Marilyn Niehaus as she fires a strike to Felix Hernandez. A sellout crowd here cheering on her, the family, and of course the memory of Dave Niehaus. We thank you for watching the pregame show. Dave and Mike are next. First pitch on the way. Mariners and Indians.
Northwest. Welcome to Seattle, everybody. We're at Safeco Field. And tonight, the Mariners launched their 2011 home season. We'll do it without Dave Niehaus, but his memory lives on here in this building and with the Mariners. This is Mariner Baseball, everybody. Good to have you with us as the Cleveland Indians come calling as the Mariners open their home season. So glad to be with you, everybody. It's exciting to be with you for opening night. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers. You can't beat the atmosphere, the electricity in the building here today. Now you hope that it translates into a Mariner win.
Well, and I think that it will. I think they have the right guy on the mound in Jason Vargas, but the Mariners have to be excited about getting things started here at home.
We had a great ceremony honoring Dave Niehaus, our departed friend and mentor. We are so glad to be here with you, and we will recount some of the great times we've had with Dave over the years. But right now, the thing he loved most, Major League Baseball. And here we go with Michael Brantley, who was born in Bellevue. His daddy, as you know, played for the Mariners. And we are underway. Jason Vargas on the mound talking to pitching coach Carl Willis. I said, describe in your own words Jason Vargas. He said, I'll just use one. Fearless. That is so true. 53 and calm. Great crowd on hand. A sellout. And Sam Holbrook calls strike 2 on Brantley. Sam Holbrook behind home plate. Greg Gibson, the umpire at first. Todd Tishner at second and Jerry Davis at third. The atmosphere is fabulous this evening. It's a tapper to the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. One down.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Cleveland Indians lineup. You saw Brantley. He just grounded out. Then it's Chu. Everybody remembers him from Seattle. Hafner finally healthy for the Indians. He will hit 5th, and it's Cabrera, Kearns, Laporta, Jack Hanahan, another former Mariner, will hit 9th. You look at the numbers for Vargas last season. 9-12 record, 192 and 2/3 innings pitched for him, 116 strikeouts.
Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop. How about the Tribe coming in sweeping the Boston Red Sox? They did it in dramatic fashion last night with a squeeze play. And it worked, and then it ended. The game ended with Darnell McDonald overrunning second base as the Red Sox furiously tried to tie it up.
You look at the Cleveland Indians, the first thing that I saw right away is defense. They have not hurt themselves at all. You mentioned winning some ball games and 4-2 coming into the series. Second in defense so far early in the season.
Two balls and 1 strike. Manny Acta in his second year. He had been with the Washington Nationals. 42 years old, out of San Pedro de Macorís. He was with the Nationals from 07 to 09 and took over the Cleveland spot last year. There's a drive to left field, and it is gone. 2-1 pitch as Asdrubal Cabrera, former Mariner homers, and the Tribe has a 1-0 lead. Second home run for Cabrera, his 7th RBI.
Take a look. They want to go inside. Olivo setting right up underneath Cabrera. Doesn't quite get it there. It's middle in. Cabrera jumped all over, just lined it over the fence in left field.
Cabrera 3 home runs last year. Heck of a comeback for him. Broke his arm last May 18th. Missed a lot of time. Last year as a right-hand hitter, he didn't hit a home run, so he's on the board early. Here's Shin-Soo Choo. It's difficult to believe when you look at this young man's numbers to this point. It's early. 083 with a homer and 2 RBI, but he's one of the better right fielders, one of the really fine players in the American League. Hit 300 last year with 22 homers and 90 runs batted in, and we saw him. Was it he did 2 trips to Cleveland. I can't remember what trip it was, but in one game he threw out in one series he threw out 2 guys.
Well, at one point when he was with the Mariners, he pops this one over to the third base side. Biggins, yeah.
Takes control.
They actually talked about making him a pitcher. That's how good his arm is. Left-hander that throws in the low to mid-90s. Let's take a look at the defense for the Mariners. In the outfield, it'll be Bradley Langerhans getting the start in center. Ichiro out and right. And on the infield, Figgins and Ryan on the left side. Adam Kennedy getting the start today at second base. Smoke over at first, and Olivo behind the plate.
So Vargas with 2 outs to run in on the home run by Cabrera. He faces the 4-hole hitter Carlos Santana. This is a highly regarded youngster. He was the Eastern League MVP in '09. Collision last year. Suffered a knee injury in Boston. The guy that they think the world of. He had 260 last year in 40 games. Big swing and a miss. Wearing the old number 41 that Victor Martinez wore when he was with the Tribe. He's now with, having gone to Boston, now with Detroit. 1-2, and the fans clapping for a strikeout here. 2-2. So Cabrera, no home runs right-handed last year. He's got one here in Game 7 in 2011. 2-2 to Santana. Vargas pitched well in Oakland in his first start. Did not have it's not involved in the decision. Stuck to the game plan and worked pretty well for him. 2-2.
Looks like Vargas' changeup will be a good pitch against Santana. 2 strikes. He's not cutting his swing down at all. Show him a fastball and then go back to his changeup. Barely gets a piece of that last pitch.
Got it in on his hands, popped up, smoke, and put it away. That'll do it. The Indians get a run on the home run by Cabrera. They lead 1-0, and the Mariners' first home at bat coming up. And that man right there, Ichiro, will get it going when we come back. Home opener here at Safeco Field. So glad you're with us here in Root Sports. We've got a very pleasant night, 53 degrees. We had the sun out earlier today as we take a look at the Mariner batting order.
Lead things off. It'll be Ichiro and his Figgins. Bradley off to a good start. You can see hitting .333 on the road trip. Jack Smoke, then it's Olivo. Adam Kennedy getting the start at second base. He will hit 7th. Then Langerhans on center field will hit 9th. Look at the numbers for Carrasco. Young pitcher for the Indians. This is what he did last year. Only 44 2/3 innings pitched from 38 strikeouts. He did give up 6 home runs. And the defense behind him. In the outfield, it's Kearns, Brantley, and Chu and right. On the infield, Jack Hanahan will be at third base. Cabrera and Cabrera up the middle. Laporta over at first. Carlos Santana will do the catching.
Carlos Carrasco is out of Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 6'3", 212. He was pride of the Phillies organization. As he throws a strike to Ichiro, hitting .261 with no homers and 2 runs batted in. Carrasco, signed by the Phillies in November of '03, stayed with that organization until July '09. He was part of the Cliff Lee trade, going to Cleveland, Cliff going over to Philly. Last year at Columbus, 10-6 with a 3.65 ERA, and they pulled up late in September, actually early September. Had a chance to pitch 7 starts, 2-2 with a 3.83 ERA. Back up the middle, base hit for Ichiro. Good start to the home season for the Mariners. Solid single right through the oh my.
Carrasco not wanting to walk Ichiro, throws a fastball up right in the middle of the plate. Hits it hard off the side of the mound. That was the difference. In Oakland, Ichiro and Figgins were on base quite a bit, running all over the place, causing problems. In Texas, guys just didn't get on enough. So hopefully at home, now Ichiro get things started with a solid base hit.
If you look at the batting averages for the Mariners, look for a lot of guys to really start getting fired up here at home. Figgy hitting just $120. Jack Cust at 200. And Brendan Ryan at 133. Langerhans at 154. Try to get the bunt down. Foul ball.
Figgins was bunting for a hit. I don't think he was sacrificing in that situation. Jack Hanahan, the third baseman, was playing coast, but Figgins can take it with him down the first base side if he wants.
See Hanahan well onto the grass, about 4 or 5 steps. Quick 0-2 hole for Figgins. Figgins with a terrific second half, trying to pick up where he left off here. Ichiro with a decent lead. Great view from the pen. Catching all the action here. 0-2 to Figgins. Outside.
On the recent road trip, Eric Wedge was very aggressive with his base runners. I would imagine they will try to test Santana over this series.
Ichiro 3 out of 4 thus far in base stealing. Wedge going against the franchise where he started his managerial career. Second Mariner manager to have ties in Cleveland. Mike Hargrove used to be with the Indians back in the 90s. 2-2 to Figgins with Milton Bradley on deck. Ichiro goes. Slash the other way. Here's a double play. In one place you didn't want him to hit it. That's what happened. That's baseball. 2 down.
It's actually a nice piece of hitting from Figgins, going the other way with a sinking fastball. It just happens to be right at Jack Hanahan. Part of the issues you run into from time to time is when you're running and you're aggressive on the bases, things like this will happen. There's nothing that Ichiro or Figgins can do in that play. Just bad luck.
Here's Milton Bradley. Milton's been aggressive early in the counts all through the spring. Justin Smoke, he's batting in the 5 hole tonight. One and 2 to Bradley. Mariners as a whole, Mike, need to really get it going. Kick-started batting average wise 233, and runners in scoring position 231 the averages.
Well, they do, and having some power would certainly help. Then they only have 2 home runs so far on the year, and these guys in the middle, Bradley and Cust and Smoke, is the guys are going to have to provide it. Jerome Figgins, I like it, going over the pitcher what they were seeing.
Anthony Suzuki translating. Ichiro speaks pretty good English and understands it as Bradley swings through. Carrasco aided by a double play faces the minimum here in the first. We have a 1-0 Cleveland lead. Glad you're with us here on Root Sports opening night here in Seattle, and it's great to be here. The difference right now as we head to the second inning. Hey, tomorrow, Cy Young Award-winning bobblehead. It comes right here to Safeco Field. Mariners hosting these Indians. First 20,000 fans. They take home a Felix Hernandez Cy Young bobblehead. It's courtesy of Root Sports. Get your tickets right now at Mariners.com or any Mariners team store.
He really looked excited to get his award today, didn't he?
Absolutely.
The first of many for him, I'm sure.
Hard luck the other day. Sitting next to Eric Bedard. Travis Hafner leading off, and Hafner, they say, is pretty much recovered finally after the 2008 shoulder injury or surgery. He's one of the most prolific sluggers in the American League.
He's off to a good start for him. Take a look at his numbers so far, and it is just the first week, but hitting .368, a home run, gaining some confidence.
There's a guy from 04 through 07, hit 28, 33, 42, and 24 homers. 100-plus ribbies in all 4 of those years. If they had songs for pitchers, you'd have to go with Lady Gaga's Poker Face for Jason Parks.
I would agree. You never know what kind of situation he's in, how the game is going. Nothing changes with Jason.
Bouncing ball to the second baseman, Adam Kennedy, 1 down.
And of course, the key, he has to keep the ball down, not overpowering at all. We've already seen him use his changeup here early in the game.
Adam Kennedy at second base today. I remember a couple of days ago, Jack Wilson had a tough second inning. Errors led to some runs against Felix Hernandez as we look at Orlando Cabrera. And there was a little bit of controversy. And today, Eric Wedge speaking with the media. Here's a drive to the gap. Looks like it might drop down, and it will. Langerhans will field and get it in. Base hit for Orlando Cabrera. And long story short, Jack said that actually it was the other night. Wedge said that Wilson was a little bit hazy, so took him out of the game. Well, today in our daily media gathering, Wedge explained the situation a little bit more. He said, listen, I was trying to cover for Jack. He says, frankly, he took himself out of the game. I find it unspeakable. And he was as jet-jawed and rock-hard glazed as I've ever seen a manager in any professional sport at any time in all the years I've been doing this. Jack Wilson came back and said, listen, I took myself out of the game because I didn't feel like I was getting the job done. I was hurting a Cy Young caliber performance by Felix. So there was all kinds of mixed messages coming out of that game the other day. Bouncing ball, Figgins charges Kennedy for one. Smoke, count him, rack him, double play. And the Tribe is gone here in the second inning. Nice defense. Ball club going to hang its hat on defense this year, and they turn around the horn with the DP.
Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Back here at Safeco Field, Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and the Root Sports crew. Glad to have you with us for the home opener. Here's Jack Cust making his Seattle Mariner home debut. Of course, Jack played here quite often as an Oakland A. He looks at strike one from Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco. But to put a capper on that Wedge and Wilson story, Eric Wedge, when he came here, back when he signed, he was talking about accountability. It was something that was big for him. And guess what? Here's your first check mark, accountability. We want you to get back in the game. You don't want to get in the game? Okay. And Eric even came back and said, listen, we got Adam Kennedy. We got Luis Rodriguez. We can proceed from there.
I think the other thing that Eric, I know when I spoke to him, his thing is having respect for the game also. That is big on his list. And I think at this point he was absolutely right. I liked his comments today. They were direct and right to the point.
1-2. And Cust strikes out. They had the shift on him as per usual. Consecutive shutouts now. Strikeouts, beg your pardon, for Carrasco. One out here in the second.
Well, lastly, the thing with Eric also that I picked up on right away in spring training is the things you just talked about, but this is his club. He has expectations for these guys, and it's going to be his way.
Jack Zarensic supported him. He said, I haven't talked to the participants, but it's Eric Wedge's ball club, his call. And there you go. Here's Smoke. Bounces one to Orlando Cabrera. First to Matt Laporta for the second out. Two down here at Safeco Field in the second inning. This Sunday, Mariners and Indians and Boeing are going to tip their caps to the youngsters at Salute the Kids Day. All kids 14 and under. You can dress like Ichiro when you pick up your very own number 51 t-shirt. The tickets to Salute the Kids Day, visit mariners.com. These fans came prepared. 53 degrees right now. No telling where it's going to go. Later on this evening.
Go down is where it's going to go, Dave.
How far does it go?
Let's say 37.
By the way, we haven't acknowledged the teal uniforms that will be worn on Fridays. Like throwbacks. It's not throwing back that far, but it's a good look. Good color. Miguel Olivo's first at bat, second tour of duty with the Mariners here at Safeco. Northwest green, not teal. I have been corrected. Northwest green. Crayola people called in and said, hey, we object. Good color. 3-0 to Miguel. Chris Jimenez called up to take the place of Adam Moore. You talk about a hard luck young man. Meniscus tear. So Adam Moore could be done for a couple of months. Chris Jimenez called up from Tacoma. They were down in Sacramento last night, and he was told, don't get hurt.
Yeah, good idea.
He said that's when he knew it was a pretty good chance that was coming up, something was going to go on. And Eric Wedge talks about the main reason for bringing Jimenez up, the same as he said in spring training, that Jimenez can play left field, right field, first, third, and catch.
Do a lot of different things. I think this guy's a big key, though. Olivo. You need to keep him healthy. He looks like a guy that can lead this ball club. And a lot of personality for Miguel. Has a good time. Do a good start swinging the bat also.
And I'm going to say right now, not too many people are going to try to house him at home plate.
I would agree.
He is one strong cat.
Did a really nice job the other day in Texas with Michael Pineda, the young pitcher. Nice to have a guy that's been around for a while. He made a couple of trips out to the mound, helped that young man out. And what kind of talent does he have? Wow. I thought he was really good in his first outing.
Swing and a miss on Oliva. And the Mariners are gone here in the second. Couple of strikeouts rung up by Carrasco. Mariners on a short end right now through 2. 1-0 Cleveland here in the home opener.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By the fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Quest. By Honda. Visit your Honda dealer during the Really Big Thing sales event for great offers on all Honda cars and trucks. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, where there's a world of dining opportunities from gourmet Asian cuisine to the legendary seafood buffet. Dave, back up to you.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Matt Laporta, Jack Hanahan, and Michael Brantley against Vargas here in the top of the third. The Tribe leads 1-0 on the Asdrubal Cabrera home run in the first. Vargas gave up 18 home runs a year ago in his 31 starts and 192 and 2/3 innings. Laporta with the Milwaukee organization came over to Cleveland when CC Sabathia was sent from Cleveland to Milwaukee. That was back in July of 2008. We've said this last couple three years, Mike. We're still waiting for this kid to really explode.
They are. We've seen a little bit of him. He has some power. Consistency has been a problem.
12 home runs last year, 41 runs batted in 110 games. Crushed. Hook. And it does.
Some of the things to keep an eye on with Vargas when he's good and is able to get a lot of ground balls. He keeps the ball down and works ahead and counts. 3-1 pitch right here. You can see him really load up and turns it loose. And that's what we're talking about, the power. Fortunately, he ends up hooking it foul. But if you get guys in those 2-0, 3-1, 3-2 counts and try to challenge them with an 86, 87 mile an hour fastball, bad things are going to happen. And Vargas certainly aware of that.
3-2 to Laporta leading off the top of the third. Changeup got him. First strikeout for Vargas. One out here in the third.
Take a look at the changeup from Vargas. 79 miles an hour. Nice movement off the outside corner. You can take a look at Vargas and what he's done at home and on the road. Big change in the numbers, Dave.
What do you figure, ballpark?
I think the ballpark has a lot to do with it. I think guys just have confidence pitching here. You get used to this mound. I think a lot of different things go into it, but certainly this ballpark, especially when you have the temperatures that we have even tonight, it's going to be cold. It's going to be wet at times. First couple months of the season. All that plays into it.
The coverage has been pretty good too in the outfield with Gutierrez out there with the Gold Glove, Ichiro with the Gold Glove. There's a lot of room. Jack Hanahan, the former Mariner. Traded away to the Boston organization by Seattle and played at Pawtucket and then signed with Cleveland in December. Beautiful ballpark, filled up tonight. You gotta love it. 3-1 to Hanahan, batting out of the 9-hole. Top of the order, Michael Brantley's on deck. Breaking ball. Full count. Payoff pitch hammered to right field. Ichiro going back, running out of room. One hop off the fence. Hanahan will steam into second with a double on a 3-2 pitch. One out base runner for Cleveland.
Let's look at this pitch again. Belt high. Look at all those pitches. All 6 pitches belt high. He's going to have to get the ball down and work ahead in some counts. Hopefully he'll settle in and be able to do that. We want him to see him keep the ball on the ground if he can.
Jack Hanahan. First 2 bagger this year. Top of the order, Michael Brantley. Kennedy over to Smoke for out number 2. Hanahan to third. There's Drupal Cabrera. 2-1 pitch, didn't miss it. The Cleveland spot last year. It was well stroked. He missed a whole bunch of time last year. You also have Grady Sizemore, perennial all-star center fielder, still out, recovering from knee surgery. Last 2 years we talked about Hafner being down. So this Cleveland ball club, they used to have a lot of thump. Drive to right. Ichiro puts it away and that'll do it. So Vargas survives. Hanahan doubles and takes third, but he's left stranded there. To the home third we go. Mariners looking for some offense. The bottom third of the order coming up. Kennedy, Ryan, and Langerhans.
Chicago Field. I'm Angie Menting. The Mariners need one to catch up here in this game, but right now it is time for our Sterling Savings Bank score. And for that, in the lieu of Manny Ramirez retiring, two of his former teams face off. The White Sox and the Rays. Alexi Ramirez, first pitch home run to left field. That's his first of the season. That game right now in the bottom of the 8th inning with Chicago on top, 7-4. Dave, back up to you.
Thank you, Angie. It is reasonably big news for Mr. Ramirez. Evidently, he got caught, and instead of fighting it and getting into further trouble, I'll just hang him up. 555 home runs, 14th all time. Goodbye, Manny.
Manny had already served, what, a 50-game suspension while with the Dodgers for the same thing.
And he was looking at, you got to figure he's looking at 100 this time around.
That's exactly what he was looking at.
Kennedy couldn't check his swing, did foul it. His home plate umpire Sam Holbrook, 2-2. Kennedy, Ryan, and Langer hands here in the third. Bouncing ball down to Orlando Cabrera. First to Laporta for the first out. So Carrasco, he struck out 3. He's given up just the 1 hit. Leadoff hit by Ichiro, and he was doubled up. Figgins hit a hard line drive to the third baseman with Ichiro in motion. They get a double play out of it.
33 pitches so far. Mariners first time through seeing a lot of two-seam fastballs from him. He's basically just trying to sink the ball away, get the guys to roll over on it. So hopefully after they've seen him the one time, second time through, they can make some adjustments.
2 of the last 3 outs have been ground outs, and 3 strikeouts and a double play. Off-speed pitch misses. Ryan coming off a 1-for-3 performance on Wednesday in the 7-3 loss at Texas. Well, the youngsters here appropriately dressed. All at 2 strikes. Fans hungry for a winner, and also, moreover, glad to have baseball back to start this new season. Hungry for a winner, you betcha.
I think one of the things that you would agree with is Brendan Ryan, high energy guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think once he gets into the flow, the grind of the season, much better off.
Center field for Brantley, no problem. 2 outs. Let's see who's rushing it up and how well they're doing that here in the Quest high speed pitch. Carrasco and Vargas. Carrasco at 95. Vargas at 89.
Carrasco looks like he will change speeds with his fastball. He'll drop it down to about 89 miles an hour, try to get more sink.
There's Ryan Langerhans. Ryan said he has seen Carrasco before. Checks his swing there. Low 90s, a lot of off-speed stuff, just what we've seen. Change up. And he will pitch backwards. Talking to Ryan in the clubhouse beforehand. 2-0. (3-0) with Ichiro on deck. And a 4-pitch walk. The 9-hole hitting center fielder Ryan Langerhans. If you like eats, this kid's getting hooked up, huh? Go Mariners! First walk issued by Carrasco against 3 strikeouts. Here's Ichiro to start the second time through against Carlos, beg your pardon. Good to see Edgar Martinez here on hand to give Ichiro his plaque and a picture celebrating Ichiro becoming the Mariners' all-time hit leader, surpassing Edgar Martinez. He did that a few days ago in Oakland. 1-0. He's down a bunt foul.
Seen a few people here today. Dave Henderson was at the ballpark today. Dave Valley working over on radio with Rick. Jay Buhner.
Yes, indeed. We will miss and do miss Hall of Famer Dave Niehaus. Bouncing ball. Cabrera knows he's got to hustle. Gets the job done. That'll do it. The Mariners go quietly in the third. They get a walk to Langerhans, and that's it. 3 in the books, a 1-0 Cleveland lead.
I'm Angie Mentic, and I'm actually out in the new pen presented by Root Sports. And if you haven't seen this place yet, you got to check it out because it is absolutely amazing. David Ardsma was literally just close enough for me to touch it, but they really frown upon that. You don't want to reach out and touch the players, even though you feel like you are that close. Dave, back up to you.
Be careful. Be careful. Just say that. All right. Thank you, Reggie. Here we go with Shin Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, and Travis Hafner, 3, 4, and 5 for Cleveland. Chipper Jones, career hit number 2,500 tonight. Good for him. Hall of Famer? What do you think?
Chipper? How many hits?
2,500. A lot of winning teams. Big part of that, what they had that 14-year division championship run.
And people give the pitching staff a lot of credit for that.
Oh, absolutely. But they had to score runs, and he was a big part of it. We will see Larry Wayne, Chipper Jones a little later on this season as Chu sends one down the right field line. Out of the box hard, slams on the brakes. Ichiro says, yeah, go ahead, run. Go ahead.
He gets a 2-1 pitch up. It jams him a little bit, but a solid base hit into right field. I don't really think he had any intentions of trying to go to second base there, do you, Dave?
They just showed. I'm here to play tonight. Oh, you're here to play tonight as well? Okay, that's good. I can respect that.
This is what we were talking about so far. Vargas, first pitch strikes 5 out of 12.
Be the first one to tell you wants to improve on that as we look at Carlos Santana. No guitar jokes, please. Speed pitch is in there for strike. Started out with the Dodgers. Did Santana when the Tribe traded Casey Blake in 08. He was a big part of the deal. Time is granted.
It looks like Jason has a good changeup going tonight. It's just a matter of whether he can get into counts to make it an effective pitch for him.
1-1. Down low. We mentioned the Atlanta Braves will be here late June, 27, 28, 29 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. How do you like that playing the National League East? The Phillies come in. We go to Washington. Florida comes here, but it'll be Florida's home games because of the U2 concert. And Atlanta comes in. Of course, the usual. Up at San Diego.
And everybody knows about the Philly ball club, but that Atlanta team's a solid club.
Ryan deflected it. Chu will dig for 3, and he's going to make it on the infield base hit by Santana. Good effort by Ryan. Comes up empty.
Take a look at it. Brendan Ryan playing to take the hole away on the left side, so he had a long ways to go. Back up the middle, does everything he can. It goes right off the end of his glove. Actually slows it down enough to where Chu can get into third easily.
So now you got Hafner, runners at the corners, and nobody out. Travis 0 for 3 career against Vargas. He grounded out to second his first time up. Ball 1. Travis Hafner, 6'3", 240 out of Jamestown, North Dakota. Battling against Vargas, who's out of Apple Valley, California.
North Dakota. No wonder why he doesn't have sleeves on tonight.
Broken bat looper, base hit, scores a run, 2-0. Cleveland. So 3 straight Tribe hits.
Looks like he breaks his bat, hits it off the end of the bat. Hafner, as you can tell, strong enough to fight it off into center field.
Hafner's 3rd RBI. There's Orlando Cabrera. This guy's bounced around, but he's played a lot of winning baseball. Montreal, Boston, won a World Series in 04. Several division titles with the Angels. The White Sox for a couple of years, won a division last year with Cincinnati. Converted from short to second and fouled it off. Strike 1.
I think it's a good sign for Cleveland. Get a veteran guy to help all the young players that they have. You mentioned a winning player.
Santana, he's at second. Hafner, he's at first. Figgins in on the grass at third, and here's a line drive into the gap. Santana rounding third, he'll score. Hafner will hold at second. It's 3-0 Cleveland. RBI Orlando Cabrera, his 6th. Vargas does not have it tonight.
You tell him. Go fucking 3, Half. What the fuck?
Again, it's location. Take a look at where this pitch is. Belt high in the middle of the plate. Carl Willis out talking to him. He's going to have to find a way to work ahead and counts and get the ball down. He's tried, but he keeps missing down into the dirt. He's going to have to find a happy medium, get it around the knees, because he cannot pitch around the belt. He's certainly aware of that.
Carl Willis leaves with a hang with him. A lot of work to do here for Vargas. He's given up 4 consecutive singles. He looks at Austin Kearns now, who hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Ball one to Kearns. Meanwhile, Carlos Carrasco through 3 innings has held the Mariners to 1 hit. Chuno. Give you an idea of what kind of a struggle it's been for Vargas now. His first pitch strike count now is 5 out of 16.
55 pitches, 24 balls, 31 strikes. Not the ratio we're used to seeing. You can see him struggling, trying to get the ball down, but he keeps missing. When you get into these counts, 3-0, 3-1.
No significant stirring in the bullpen, and the on-deck hitter is Matt Laporta. 3-0. Back with a strike. Kearns out of Lexington, Kentucky. Had a nomadic career between Cincy, Washington, Cleveland, New York, and Cleveland. Inside corner. Full count. Vargas has been a good pitcher at home. He's struggling mightily here. He could use another double play right now. Crank to left field. That is a fair ball. One hop off the fence. Coming around the scores, Hafner. Going to third is Cabrera, and in with an RBI double is Kearns, and they're just raking against Vargas here. It's 4-0 Cleveland with 2 runners on at second and third. 5 consecutive hits.
Again, a 3-2 count. Comes back with a fastball. Middle in. Kearns hits it hard. 89 miles an hour.
Tom Wilhelmsen is now up and throwing. Still nobody out. 2 runners in scoring position. Here's Laporta.
Mariners will keep their infield back, so they'll give up a run to try to get an out.
And they're coming up there free swinging. Five straight hits. One and one. Boy, when you lose it like that, it's got to be a terrible feeling. You're working, but it just not happening for you.
Levo trying to buy some time for Wilhelmsen to get loose in the pen. Well, you're absolutely right, because the Indians can sense it. They've seen Jason Vargas. They know when he's good, and right now they can see those pitches are up, and then he's falling behind in the count.
Third career start for Vargas against the Tribe. He's 1-1 with a 7.36 ERA. Swung on, lifted to left field. Bradley or Langerhans. It's going to be Bradley. Runner tags. Here's the throw. It's offline. Cut off by Figgins. 5-0 Cleveland. RBI Laporta, his third. First out. Seventh man to the plate here for Cleveland. Jack Hanahan. He doubled to right center. This guy's a lot busier than he wanted to be in this half of the inning. Line drive, base hit. Here comes Kearns around third. He'll score. 6-0 Cleveland. They're just taking BP tonight against Jason Vargas, who's not having a good night. Guys are rushing up to the plate to swing.
Well, to the end of his night. Eric Wedge coming out of the dugout.
So the Cleveland Indians with a 6-run lead, a 5-run fourth here in the Mariners' home opener.
Brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. And by Sterling Savings Bank. Visit sterlingsavingsbank.com. Dave and Mike, I'm going to send it back up to you, but I'm having a whole lot of fun down here in the pen. Presented by Root Sports.
We may have to come out. We may have to come out and do part of the broadcast out there at some point. Here's Tom Wilhelmsen making his Safeco Field debut. Made his Mariner debut on Sunday. Pitched a scoreless inning with a strikeout and a 7-1 loss at Oakland. It's quite a story, this young man.
It is. And Tom, his fastball will be somewhere between 95, 96 miles an hour. Hard slider. Take a look at his numbers from spring training. 11 innings pitched for him. 5 walks. But really good stuff. And his fastball isn't straight either. 95 miles an hour has some nice movement to it. So it'll definitely be a change of pace for the Indians after Vargas' night is finished.
Last 5 batters all drove in a run.
Jason, some nights are just not your night.
This one qualified. Top of the order, Brantley. He's grounded out a couple of times. Short and to second. Brantley yet to get him on the on-base parade. Wilhelmsen in pro baseball for a while, then ran into some issues and some difficulties. Was out for a period of time. Came back into independent league baseball and wowed some scouts. Mariners wind up signing. Up the middle, another base hit. Down to second is Hanahan. Brantley, he's aboard. First and second, 1 out. 5 runs in.
Indians are a perfect 4-for-4 with men in scoring position in this inning.
Here's Cabrera. First inning home run on a 2-1 pitch to left field. Just over the hand-operated scoreboard. one. This is the 9th batter in the 4th inning for Cleveland. Carlos Carrasco got to keep the blood flowing here. Been a while since he's been out there. He's given up 1 hit through 3 innings with 3 Ks and 1 walk. Wilhelmsen trying to get a double play ball to end this monstrous inning for Cleveland. Tribe with 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. The Mariners no runs on 1 hit. Crooked number. Long look by Wilhelmsen. Cabrera steps out. Two at 2. Keep score a lot when you went to games as a kid?
Nope.
I'm trying to remember when I started. Probably about 10, 11 years old. That was pretty cool. A million ways to do it, too. So Cabrera is gone. 2 down. And now it'll be Chu coming up. It'll be the 10th hitter here in the 4th inning. Hey, when you're at Safeco Field, make sure you stop by the Pen, presented by Root Sports. The Pen's located in center field, and it's got a delicious array of new foods. Plus, the Pen provides you with some of the most unique views of the game. So make sure you get there early. Pen gates open 2.5 hours prior to the first pitch. And you're going to enjoy the Mariners take BP, as well as some very good happy hour specials. For details, visit mariners.com/thepen.
So when did you start keeping score?
About 10 years old. Yeah, I was lucky. I grew up in Philly, 10 minutes from the ballpark. So my dad and granddad get there a lot.
I was more concerned on how I was going to get one of your favorites, some more ice cream out of my dad.
Throwing down to second. Wow, nice play by Ryan. Now, my brother was the one that would eat my father. He says, come on, we came to watch a ball game, not to eat every other inning. Please, can I get something on the side, please? Watch the game. Runners at first and second for a dangerous hitter. Off to a slow start. Shin-Soo Choo, 1 for 2 tonight. Able to check, he did, as they checked down to Jerry Davis at third base umpire. Davis, the crew chief. On deck is the catcher, Carlos Santana, who got an infield hit earlier in this inning. And Chu's aboard, and the bases are loaded. So moving over to third is Hanahan. To second, Brantley. Eleventh man coming to bat here in the 5th inning. Second time around for Carlos Santana. Cleveland Indians off to a terrific start in their first road game of 2011. Wilhelmsen tried to find it. Oh man, that was a big hack.
Looked like an angry fastball from Wilhelmsen, 95 miles an hour.
Santana was thinking 4 spot. Another switch hitting catcher. Another switch hitter in the lineup is Asdrubal Cabrera. 1-1 with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Off speed pitch is in there.
Nice looking curveball.
Two outs with the bases jacked here. Wilhelmsen needs a big pitch. Up high, 2-2. Five consecutive singles in this inning. 5 consecutive RBI in this inning. The 2-2. Off speed pitch. Just over Kennedy's head. Coming in Hanahan. Coming in Brantley. 2-run single for Carlos Santana. It's 8-0 Cleveland. Boy, oh boy.
Another pitch, belt high, breaking ball. Ends up getting in on him a little bit, but because the pitch is up in the zone, able to get some air under it and find some outfield grass.
12th hitter in the inning. 12. What an inning. 7 runs on 8 hits in the inning thus far.
Well, as you mentioned, it's been up and down the lineup so far. Laporta, the only Indian not to score.
One and out at Hafner. Time is called. For Wilhelmsen making his home debut. I'm sure the adrenaline in overdrive and can't find it. Vargas really never got off to a good start. Gave up the home run to Cabrera. Did benefit from a second inning double play. Gave up a double in the 3rd, and then the roof came down on him. 1-0 to dangerous Travis Hafner. 2-0. And no action going right now in the Mariner bullpen.
Eric Wedge is trying to find a way to get some innings and not kill his bullpen in one game. So Wilhelmsen's going to have to do some work.
Hafner with the drive deep to right. How far is it going? Good grief. Off the hit it here. Cafe for a 3-run jack. 11-0 Cleveland. Now, you know Hafner was going up there with the express purpose of doing just that, especially when the count went to 2-0.
That's exactly the point. 2-0 count. The Indians have consistently had the counts in their favor, and they're taking advantage of it. Right now, a perfect 6 for 6 with men in scoring position in this inning as Carl Willis will make another trip out to the mound.
Wow.
He tries to come back inside to see Olivo set up away. See where this pitch ends up. Middle of the plate, belt high. And Hafner hits it off the plexiglass.
Not to start looking into the index of a few books here in terms of most runs scored, most runs yielded. That was a prodigious shot. A 4 RBI night for Hafner at 2 at-bats in the same inning. Swinging freely is Orlando Cabrera, another base hit. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th hitter. Here comes the 14th hitter. Cabrera, a perfect 3 for 3 with an RBI. Austin Kearns will stand in. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Yikes. Double digits, a 10 spot in the 4th inning. A Bronx cheer for a called strike 1. So Cabrera on the right, he got it started with a 1st inning home run, and now Hafner with a 3-run shot in the 4th. And these boys are not cheating themselves with their swings. The 0-2 to Kearns. That misses. A 1-2. That misses. 2-2. Tracer has it in the zone.
It's like all 4 pitches are in the zone. Aaron Laffey, the left-hander, up, getting loose in the Mariners pen.
Former Indian. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch fouled off. Well, this one's already been stamped an inauspicious home opener for the Mariners, and we're just in the top of the 4th. Try to get it 2-2 with a man on. Strike 3 called. A merciful end, and I mean that in capital letters. And the fans here would agree. A 10-run inning with 10 hits, and the Tribe leads 11-0. Bottom of the 4th coming up. We invite you to play along in our trivia right now. Our AT&T trivia question. The Mariners, they won their home opener in 2009. Who scored the winning run? In the bottom of the 10th inning, here are your choices. Kenji Jojima, Ronnie Cedeno, Andy Chavez, or Franklin Gutierrez. Text ABC or D to 95323. My guess is going to be, what was it, the home opener? I remember he was playing well then. I'm going to go with Andy Chavez.
That's exactly what I was looking at.
And he was with Texas. He was with them early. I don't know if he's still on the active roster, but I think he was with them.
We saw him play in spring training.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made the club or not. It was good to see him out running around and healthy again. That was a terrible knee injury he suffered.
Goodness. Here's Figgins. There have been hills to climb, and then there have been hills to climb. in 0-1 to try it, down by a similar type number. Down 12, came back to beat the Mariners. So let's see if the Mariners can return the favor here in 2011. Wow, 2-1 to Figgins, followed by Bradley and Cust.
Well, the thing that the Mariner hitters should understand at this point is Carrasco is going to be very aggressive with the lead that he has. Should get some good fastballs to hit.
Ground ball to Rendo Cabrera, 1 out. He's throwing some ground balls. Mikey mentioned it earlier. The count is up to 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we are with 1 out in the 4th.
3 strikeouts. Using a good heavy sinker. Mixing in a changeup, changing speeds on his fastball, I think, is the biggest difference.
Milton Bradley, strikeout victim on a 2-2 pitch. Back in the 1st. 10-run inning. 10 hits.
That makes it tough. You have your opener. Great crowd on hand. Ceremonies honoring our friend Dave Niehaus. People are excited. And you have an inning where things just fall apart.
Bouncing ball. Cabrera, busy night. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Last time the Mariners gave up a 10 spot in an inning back here at Safeco Field, May 8th of 03 against the Yankees. Tampa Bay back in 2000 when they gave up 10 hits. Here's Cust, drive to deep right center field. That'll sit down. So Jack Cust with his first Safeco Field extra base hit as a Mariner. So maybe a little life here with 2 outs. Going to need a lot of life.
So he gets a fastball right in the middle of the plate.
Second hit of the night for the Mariners. The other hit first inning was Ichiro.
Well, that was actually a changeup to Jack. Did a nice job of keeping his hands back, just 84 miles an hour.
Ball 1 to Smoke. Round out the second. All right, give me both sides of the stories. You've been in these kinds of games on both ends.
Indians are having a lot more fun right now.
And what about mental edge?
Well, you know, I think the main thing right now is you get a game that is like this one where it's 11-0 and you're in the 4th inning. On the Mariners side of things, you have to grind out your at-bats. They have work to do, and there's things that they need to accomplish, score some runs. And, you know, as you mentioned, it's a steep hill they're trying to climb right now. But it's early in the season, and just try offensively to do some things that you can feel good about at this point.
Just joining us, the Tribe put 10 runs on the board, 10 hits in the 4th inning, sending 14 men to the plate. 3-0 to Smoke. And he's aboard. Second walk issued by Carrasco. So now runners at 1st and 2nd. 2 down. Miguel Olivo, they bring him up to home plate with Edwin Starr's 25 miles. That's what it feels like the Mariners have to do tonight, and they're going to try to get it done. Miguel struck out swinging on a 3-2 pitch to end the 2nd inning. That pitch has been very effective for Carrasco. 0-1. Cuss and smoke your runners. Is that foul? Coming up tomorrow, game 2 of this series, Doug Fister against Justin Masterson. It's outside. Game 3, Eric Bedard against Josh Tomlin on Sunday. That's a 1:10 start. Tomorrow, or a 6:10 start. We're at Safeco Field. And Olivo swings and misses, and he is done, and so are the Mariners in the 4th. 2 out to get a couple on, can't get a man. Through 4, it's all Cleveland, 11-0. In 09, who scored the winning run? I said Indy Chavez. Mike said Indy Chavez. We sold it hard. You bought it. You rode with us. Well, you're in the wrong posse, and we weren't trying to lead you the wrong way. I do remember this now as we look at it, as Goody leads it off with the double. And then remember this crazy inning with the bunt. Uni Betancourt gets it down. Shields, who retired, throws it into right field, and that's the ball game. And Franklin Gutierrez, he scores. So that is your answer of our trivia question tonight, as Matt Laporta. Check down first base umpire Greg Gibson did not go. Laporta, Hanahan, and Brantley 8, 9, and 1.
It will be nice to see Franklin Gutierrez back in the Mariners lineup again.
That sellout, 45,727. Right back up this way, right near Tom Hamilton's booth. Outstanding radio voice of the Cleveland Indians. One and two. Tom Wilhelmsen came on. He faced 1, 2. Geez, I lost track. And I give a pretty decent scorebook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters. 7 of the 14. When was the last time you were in a game like that? 14 guys come up in a half inning?
Well, You play long enough, you'll be in a number of them. I certainly played in some of them, been on both sides of it.
Get particularly quiet on the short end.
Oh, it gets really quiet.
2-2. Curveball misses.
I think right now it'll be the message from Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach, and Eric Wedge. Just offensively try to get some things going. Feel better about yourself. Hopefully you can climb back into this one, but if not, at least get some things going for tomorrow.
Sometimes you see these blowout numbers and it's over the course of a longer haul, but man, this was in an instant, so to speak, in baseball
inning
parlance.
Let's start off with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight hits and a sacrifice fly. So a couple more hits on top of that. A bunch of singles and then the big blast from Hafner.
He must have been salivating. Up 2-0 in a big inning. Porter draws a walk. Second walk issued by Wilhelmsen. Nine-hole hitting third baseman Jack Hanahan. He's had a night. Double to right center, single to left, and an RBI. Mariners have one double play. That was in the second inning. Vargas was going reasonably well.
Maybe they should have known it wasn't going to be their night when Ichiro leads off with a base hit. Something we know they need to do is run, and then it turns into a double play because Figgins lines out.
Like you said, you got to pitch away, hit it hard, and right at the
There's nothing that either one of them can do.
Absolutely not. Porter takes his lead, not a big one. One and two. Foul behind Sandy Alomar Jr., first base coach of the Tribe.
There's a hat.
Yes, indeed. Jack London would be proud. Wilhelmsen throwing a lot of pitches.
And his splits are not good. 41 pitches, 19 balls, 22 strikes.
Two. Tough start for Jason Vargas. 3 1/3, 9 hits, 7 runs, and in the immortal words of the late great Red Foley, all earned. No walks and 1 strikeout. And Hanahan has worked the full count.
Down 0-2 and has worked it back to full. It's Lappy getting loose again.
Can't hear. So they're quit using him.
3-2. Center field Langer, he's got a good jump, and he's there. One out, one on here in the Cleveland fifth. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. His homestand continues. Cleveland Saturday, Sunday. Toronto comes in. Don Wakamatsu, the former Mariner manager, is now bench coach to John Farrell there, and those boys swing the bat as well. Then off to Kansas City for 4, then back home quickly for Detroit and Oakland. remember talking to Dwayne Murphy last year, the hitting coach of Toronto. Let it go. Swing hard.
Batista did.
54.
Yeah.
Top of the order, Michael Brantley. Fourth plate appearance already for Brantley. Here we are, top 5. And he's got a base hit, his second consecutive base hit. Taking second is Laporta. 11 runs on 14 hits. For Cleveland, no runs, 2 hits. For the Mariners, Ichiro in the first, lead off the home first, and a 2-out double by Jack Cust in the 4th. That's it. A couple of base runners via walks. That's all she wrote through 4 for the Mariners. Double play can end it right here. Cabrera got the scoring started with a home run. He's a switch hitter. Homer on a 2-1 pitch. In left field. That's out of play. Tom Wilhelmsen, he came on in the 4th. Giving up 4 runs on 5 hits.
You know, Eric Wedge would really like to see a double play ball, having to stretch this game out without having to use the bullpen. Wilhelmsen's throwing a lot of pitches, as you mentioned. His next one will be 50 for him. And they have Lappy. Hopefully he can come in and get you 3 or 4 innings.
Ball 2 strikes. Oh, for a ground ball double play. Check swing, gets away from Olivo. Runners move up, throws to second, gets by everybody. Langerhans, he will not be able to throw home, and another run on the board. It's 12-0. It'll be an error 2 as Laporta comes around.
It's a ball that Miguel Olivo knows he probably should just eat it. You get the strikeout.
So error on Olivo.
Couldn't tell if that ended up hitting a piece of Brantley or not.
So wild pitch E2. Cabrera struck out for the second out. Kennedy, and it's over. Another run on the board. A cool dozen for the Cleveland Indians. Mariners coming up the bottom third of the order. Kennedy, Ryan, and Langerhans here at Safeco Field.
Budweiser. This year, Budweiser will donate $100 to Folds of Honor for every home run hit in Major League Baseball. Visit Facebook.com/Budweiser to see how you can help support our nation's heroes. All right, game's not going the way the Mariners would like, Dave and Mike, but I think that a lot of people are out here celebrating Felix's birthday, perhaps.
Felix's birthday, it's opening night. Come on, baseball back in Seattle. Short
right.
end right now. You're giving up a dozen runs. Hey. You're back with your friends and everything. Hey, I haven't seen you in 6 months. We're getting tuned up right now, but we're having fun.
Happy birthday to Felix.
Absolutely. Adam Kennedy, Brendan Ryan, and Langerhans trying to stoke the fire here and get something going. Shortstop is Drupal Cabrera. Gets that away. One out here in the bottom of the 5th. Comes Brendan Ryan, flied out to center first time. Kennedy, by the way, now 0 for 2. 2 hits tonight for the Mariners. Ichiro leading off the home first. And a 2-out double to right center by Jack Cust in the 4th. Great day this afternoon. Get to the ballpark. It's sunshine. Fans on First Avenue excited about baseball being back. Chance to pay tribute to the late great Dave Niehaus. Great to see Maryland and the family here. Certainly our hearts and prayers go out to that family. And hopefully we'll have a chance many times this season, Mike. The picture that we just saw, the Dave emblem hit him in the back. Somebody will hit a few balls off the Dave out there in right center field.
Yeah, I think, like the Mariners always do, is first class ceremony before the game for Dave, and it was nice to see. Tribute to him. Neat to see Jay come here with Rick Riz and Kevin Krem. Rick and Kevin both have spent a lot of years and time with Dave, and they were the ones that raised up the banner that you saw out there. So that was really nice to see.
Here's Ryan Langerhans. He walked his first time. They're not holding Ryan on at first. Check swing. That's called strike.
Well, the score is 12-0. He won't run anywhere either.
You got that right. One and 2 to Ryan Langerhans. Crowd waiting patiently for an offensive explosion. No advancer.
It's been interesting to watch Eric Wedge work the center field position for the Mariners. He didn't just go and give it to one particular guy. He's let both Ryan Langerhans and Michael Saunders get time to play out there.
Somebody take it.
Well, you know, right now the unknown is Franklin Gutierrez and when he's going to be healthy enough to come back. And I think you're right. I think that's what he's doing. He's giving them some time for somebody to take the job.
Full count now to Langerhans. Well, like everybody else, remain curious and concerned about Gutierrez. The fact that, you know, he's down there playing. He's played for the last couple 3 days, but you sure want him to get well in a hurry. The Langerhans works a walk. 2 on, 1 out. That is the 3rd walk issued by Carrasco. Mariner fans, you know that Mariners All Access brings them closer to the home team than ever before. It's the can't miss highlights and interviews, plus the greatest behind the scenes moments from on and off the field. Mariners All Access, Sunday at noon, right here on Root Sports. Let's wood-fired pizza. Want to say hello to your friend Regular?
And pepperoni?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Richie Ashburn.
It's pretty good, doesn't it? Everybody out there is paying attention.
You're just joining us. One of my favorite baseball stories, the late great Richie Ashburn. I want to say hello to Jimmy's down at South Philly. My good friend's regular in pepperoni.
Did it work for him? I'm sure
every
it did.
time.
Yeah.
What happened though? He would give shout outs to all his guys in South Philly. He would give shout outs to all his guys in Philly. I need a hoagie here, hoagie. They got tired of it, so that's when he came up. I'll say hello to my good friends regular in pepperoni. It's like, yeah.
Let's see if it works for us.
Why not? Give it a shot. Down the line, foul. Off the bat of Ichiro, it's singled and grounded out to second. Just 2 hits. So if they can build something here, 1 out, 2 on. Slap foul again. I heard something interesting today. Today is the anniversary. I'm trying to remember what the heck year was it? 62, maybe 63. Anniversary of one of the greatest games ever played. It was not televised. The 16-inning Warren Spahn, Warren Marichal pitching duel, broken up by Willie Mays with a home run in the 16th. And supposedly, here's the ball up the middle. Base hit. That's number 3. The Mariners are going to get on the board. Here's Ryan to score. And Ichiro delivers the first run of the home season to a big ovation here at Safeco Field. It's 12-1. Cleveland. RBI number 3 for Ichiro.
Take a look at it. Another base hit, 2 base hits for Ichiro. Both of them back up the middle. Nice diving effort by Cabrera. But once it gets past him, Brendan Ryan is going to score and get the Mariners on the scoreboard. That's all. Fans just want to see a little something.
There's a great Steve Allen song years ago. This could be the start of something big. Figgins high fly ball, right field. Chu. Great arm. They're not going to test it. Obviously not, especially not down 12-1. 2 outs. First run of the home season is driven in by Ichiro, scored by Brendan Ryan. Milton tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. That's not going to make my collection. Too much mustard, you bet. Oh, and a strike to Milton Bradley.
It looks like Lappy will get his chance to come out. Pitch. He's still up in the Mariners pen, so I would assume he will pitch.
Dig by Santana, 2-1. Just joining his 4th inning. 10 runs, 10 hits for the Tribe. Manny Acta, 42 years old. Spent his time as a infielder in the Houston organization. Never made it to the big leagues. But highly regarded in major league circles. They mentioned 2+ years as skipper of the Washington Nationals. Last year under Manny, the Tribe went 69-93. Milton takes that pitch outside, full count. Jack Cust, love to have some. Has made some board here. 3-2 to Milton. Runners go. Swing and a miss, and he's gone. They'll do it for the Mariners. They do get a run. They do get a hit. But they leave 2 on. Cleveland with a big lead here at Seattle. We take a look at our steal cut above the rest. The 4th inning nightmares for the Mariners. And topped off 2-0 count to Travis Hafner. 2-men aboard, and Hafner with a drive deep to look
right.
where he hit that one.
Going.
So a 3-run shot for Hafner, his 2nd of the year. Takes his RBI total to 5. And that was the capper in that 10-run, 10-hit inning. But here's some news. The Cleveland Indians in their first game, they were down 14-0 to the Chicago White Sox and came back, made it a 15-10 final. It's crazy how things come around in baseball. Here's Aaron Laffey, the former Cleveland Indian, came over to the Mariners back in March. He takes over for Tom Wilhelmsen, who came in to pick up Jason Vargas.
Aaron will be the long guy out of the pen. Spot starter from time to time when you need one. As you take a look at his numbers from last year, 55 2/3 innings pitched for him. Not overpower. He's going to sink the ball, throw his change up.
Final line on Wilhelmsen, an inning and 2/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and a home run. Second appearance here in this early season for Aaron Laffey. What's it like when you face a guy who was just with your ball club a year ago? I mean, you know. I mean, you've been behind him. You've seen him work.
I think it just depends.
Bouncing ball down to Ryan on a 3-1.
Most of the time, I think you would think the pitcher would have the advantage. He's watched you hit for a year or 2, maybe 4. It all comes down to they're always going to go back to their strengths, though, and what they need to do to get you out. You should understand that. I would think that Cleveland understands if they're going to have any success against Laffey, they'll probably have to hit the ball the other way.
Here's Hafner. He's had a night. 2 for 3 with 4 runs batted in.
I would bet that because players move around so much now that they don't give it a second thought.
Hafner's shoulder's a lot better. Mike, boy, is he free swinging.
He really is. I was watching him take batting practice, and yeah, he was launching balls.
He won against the Mariners last year in Cleveland. Let's see if Laffey can have a good Safeco Field Mariner debut. He's got 1 game under his belt. Another big hack. Well, if you like the Misery Loves Company file, Arizona Diamondbacks lead Cincinnati 13-1 in the 8th. That's at Arizona. Two. One out here in the 6th. Endo Cabrera's on deck for Cleveland. Broke his bat again. Laffey throws low and Smoke digs it out. Hey, Mariner fans, the Root Sports Facebook and Twitter pages, they are up and running, and we want to connect with you. Find us on Facebook at Root Sports NW and follow us on Twitter at Root Sports _NW. This guy's getting after it. I'm at the Mariner game. What are you people doing? What about the story about the beer vendor here? Hey, you want beer? Just tweet me. I forget what section he's in. He's going to donate his proceeds to a charity.
If Laffey can have any luck with Cabrera. So far, Cabrera 3 for 3 in the game.
Strike 2 and 1. Mariners pitchers are looking for the first 1, 2, 3 inning. Three and 1. Three balls, 1 strike. So another runner is aboard. First walk by Laffey. 3rd walk issued by Mariner pitchers tonight.
And as you would expect, when the score is what it is, Mariners have not had a 1, 2, 3 inning yet.
The beer vendor is Kevin Zelko. 5 years of beer vendor. He's a 36-year-old school teacher. He's the one selling beer via Twitter. I'm sure the boys at Twitter love that. Goes the other way. Kennedy, great effort. Can't get him. Infield hit for Kearns, his 2nd hit. They've hit him hard, they've hit him slow, they've hit him soft.
You can't even see Kennedy in the picture. He's playing way up the middle, try to get back over into the hole.
Kennedy getting the start tonight. Jack Wilson, we detailed earlier. Be interesting to see when we may get him on the field again. Coming off the game a couple of days ago. Matt Laporta. And that beer vendor, he's got already 1,100 followers on Twitter. Kevin Zelko. Look out. Did he lean on that or what?
There you go.
Not bad.
All right. It stung him a little bit, but it's worth it.
Put your hand around the ice cream cup, you'll be fine. Portis hit some loud foul balls tonight. With that screamer, it just went foul into the left field seats. Foul pole. 2-1, 2 out, 2 on. Laffey, not overpowering. He's behind 3-1.
Well, yeah, he started out well for him. A couple of ground ball outs, a walk and a base hit, and now another 3-1 count.
See what gives. 3-1. Bradley to his left, and he's there for the out. Tribe gets a couple on, leave him on to the home sixth here at Safeco Field. 12-1 Cleveland. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now, get the All-American Jack combo with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. By AT&T and by Pizza Hut and the new Ultimate Stuffed Crust Pizza. Now get your favorite toppings and cheese baked right into the crust. Happy opening night. Well, maybe not so far to this point, 12-1 Cleveland, but glad you're with us here in Root Sports. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and the crew. Jack Cust will lead it off, followed by Justin Smoke and Miguel Olivo. 4, 5, and 6 for the Mariners.
Jack had a solid double in the gap his last time up.
High fly ball backs up Kearns. 1 out. Jack Cust 1 for 2. For young Carlos Carrasco, 5 strikeouts. He's walked 3, given up just 3 hits.
His first outing didn't go well for him, but the Indians came out and staked him to a huge lead.
That's well struck. The base hit by Justin Smoke. Nice swing.
On the road trip, we watched him hit right-handed an awful lot. That'll certainly change. A nice left-handed swing, solid line drive into right field for Justin.
So many good seats here at Safeco Field. If you're out center field, good advantage pointers here. Check out our location right there to welcome to Safeco Field. Red Root Sports. Banner. Shows where we are as Olivo looks at a pitch outside. Miguel has struck out twice on a 3-2 pitch and once on an 0-2 pitch. One and one. Kid's been pretty good.
Mixed it up well. Looks like second, third time through he's doing more of that, throwing breaking balls. Start of the game, first time through, a lot of sinkers, and he's starting to find his breaking ball. Throwing a number of change-ups.
One and two. Couldn't be happier coming back to Seattle for another opportunity. He's with the ball club in 04 and 05. Since then he's moved on to San Diego, Florida, Kansas City, and Colorado. Hit a career best 23 home runs 2 years ago with Kansas City with 65 runs batted in. And that too a career best. 2-2. Kennedy awaits. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good dig by Santana, full count. The young Mr. Carrasco, 10-6 in Columbus last year, AAA. 3.65 ERA. Maniac glad to have him up here. He went 2-2 with the big club after September call up, a 3.83 ERA in 7 starts and 1 complete game. Heads up to Adam Kennedy, ducked out of the way of that fly.
Olivo's battling right now. They'll find a way to put the ball in play. As Dave mentioned, he's punched out a couple of times in the game.
Make it 3. 2 down here in the 6th. Root for the Mariners. We appreciate that here at Root Sports. Strikeout number 6. 3 of them Olivo. Tough night. There's Adam Kennedy. A ground out to second, popped to short. Hanahan's going to take a look. Does it come back to him? No. So Hermano, he's starting to throw here for the Cleveland Indians. Justin Germano. Count evens at 1-1. American League Central, as we started today, Cleveland and Chicago tied with Kansas City. Detroit, Minnesota 2 back. Minnesota beats Oakland 2-1 tonight. White Sox lost at home to Tampa Bay in a wild one, 9-7.
Angels losing at home to Toronto 3-2 in the 9th inning.
You see all the panic that was going on in Boston. That start they had. Fly ball center field for Brenton. And so concludes the 6th inning. Mariners no runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left. 6 in the books. It's not a bestseller. It's 12-1 Cleveland.
is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. Great times are on deck. Grab some buds. And by Viagra. Get you back upstairs to Dave and Mike.
Thank you, Angie. Concourse is filled up tonight here at Safeco Field. As we look at Aaron Laffey, his second inning of work. Jack Hanahan to lead it off. Hanahan, a couple of hits and an RBI tonight. Four hits total for the Mariners. Compared to 15 for Cleveland. 12-15-0. On top of 1-4-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hanahan. 9-1-2. Hanahan, Brantley, and Cabrera. Punch out. Aaron Laffey's got his first strikeout here at home as a Mariner. Laffey out of Cumberland, Maryland. He'll face Michael Brantley. Hits in his last 2 times up. Runs scored. Having a good night at 2 for 4. This next swing, boy, pitch by Laffey. Laffey, a 16th round pick. The 03 amateur draft by the Tribe.
Yeah, he's not overpowering. It looks like he's starting to throw his breaking ball for a strike when he wants to, but he's somebody that is going to have to log a lot of innings out of the bullpen for the Mariners this year. Nice breaking ball right there.
Brantley knew it. Back-to-back K looking. 2 outs.
Just freezes. Brantley gives up on the pitch, and it actually ends up middle away. Started in off the plate, walked the hitter up.
Laffey's first 2 years in the bigs, primarily a starter. Here's Cabrera, looks at ball 1. 2008 with the Tribe. 16 games, all starts. He went 5-7. 4.23 ERA. In his next full year, he went 25 games with 19 starts. Since then, pretty much all bullpen work. Last year, 29 games, started 5, went 2-3. Not getting out of the 4s in his career in the ERA. Two and 1. Bouncing ball, Figgins gets a nice hop. And there's your first 1, 2, 3 inning thrown by a Mariner pitcher tonight. 6.5 in the books, a 12-1 Indian lead. Take a look at our Banner Bank building to the future. And Tuesday, Ricky Romero of the Toronto Blue Jays takes on Michael Pineda. This will be Pineda's home debut. Mike, he was just outstanding in that debut at Texas in their building against a hot hitting ball club.
If you want to see the future of the Mariners, come on out on Tuesday and watch this young man work. 95, 96 miles an hour. Yeah, he was really good, and I was a little bit concerned, wondering how he would take his first start, especially in that ballpark. He certainly was aware of their lineup, and he didn't seem the least bit intimidated by it all. In fact, we also saw him knock a couple of guys down, which was good to see, and I think it definitely benefited him because it opened the plate up for his slider. But it'd be fun to watch him again on Tuesday.
Justin Germano, new pitcher for Cleveland. I love that attitude. Boys, we're here to work. A little zaps right up under the chin on some of those big boys down there in Texas.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. Good attitude. Germano, his dossier looks like that. .99 pitches, 55 for strikes for Carlos Carrasco. 6 innings of work. Bouncing ball foul. Ryan tonight a fly out to center. And hit by a pitch and a run scored. Scored on the Ichiro RBI in the 5th. Off that one. Germano, born in Pasadena, California, home of the Rose Bowl. Great Rose Bowl parade. Been a pro since 2000. 13th round pick by the Padres. Has bounced around since then. Cincy, Philly, Padres again. And signed by the Tribe last year. Coming in Brantley on it high. Short fly to right center. One out in the Mariners' 7th. The Mariners and our community. They're teaming up to support the relief efforts in Japan. Red Cross volunteers, they're going to be at Safeco Field gates for the entire opening homestand to collect donations. Mariners Care will match fan contributions, guaranteeing a minimum of $100,000. A great gift to the Red Cross. Let's join together and help those in need in Japan. Had another 7.4 quake a couple of days ago. Or was it yesterday, I believe it was. That video is frightening. Nothing like that tsunami which followed the earthquake last month. Strike one on Langerhans, who's walked twice. Josh Lukey in the bullpen right now for the Mariners. Two and one. So Ryan Langerhans a couple of years ago had a great 17-day stretch. He had 2 walk-off home runs. 2-2.
He has a couple of walks in tonight's game. Hit a home run in Oakland. One of the starts that he was able to get on the road.
It's 2-2 to Germano. Full count. Ichiro's on deck. A couple of hits and an RBI. 2 for 3. Three plate appearances, 3 walks for Ryan Langerhans. Cleveland pitchers tonight issue a total of 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. First 2011 check of the itchy meter.
Put a couple on there tonight. 2 hits for Ichiro.
Ball one from Justin Germano. Akron, the Indians, and then Columbus last year with the big club. Germano went 0-3, 3.31 ERA in 23 games. Record any Ichiro movement. Does he get it? All 2 strikes.
We see that in every ballpark we go to.
And in Oakland, now that Matsui's there, that doubles and almost triples the Japanese media contingent. In addition to the fans. Picture of Ichiro down low. 2-2. If you're just tuning in, Tribe scored first in the first inning on a Cabrera, Asdrubal Cabrera. 1-out home run. Ichiro is retired. Then in the 4th inning, 14 batters came to the plate. 10 runs, 10 hits. Two outs in the 7th. Figgins lined into a double play, grounded out to second, flied out to right. One to figure.
See if Sean gives himself an attitude now. Every now and then you have to check in with the base hit. He's off to a rough start. You can feel a little bit better about things coming into tomorrow's game. And really, they need him to get it going. What a difference we saw him in Oakland those first couple of games where he's swinging the bat well and made a huge difference.
And since then, he's 0 for his last 22, counting tonight. Strike 2. Starters numbers for the Mariners coming into tonight's game. The best numbers, 5-game hitting streak, Milton Bradley entering tonight's action. He's 0 for 3. Milton's on deck. Milton's 5 games, 8 for 20. All 2 strikes. Cleveland opens the season 4-2, and Mariners open at 2-4.
They're lucky both of them have a baseball tonight.
It's rare. Man, you got a game with your buddy, you might get one once every 5 years if you're lucky, if at all.
Parents are happy. You don't have to hear about the argument in the car on the way home.
You've been there, right?
Oh, yeah. They're putting their own autograph on it. He's signing it for some of the fans. There you go.
Oh, nice photo. 2-2. All right. Hey, the knuckleball grip, the kid on the right, and the other kid's got a 2-seam fastball. Must be related to the Negroes.
Now turn around and pay attention.
Yeah, really. Be alive. Tapper back to the pitch. Boy, it's been that kind of night. And the Mariners are retired in the 7th and done so quietly. 7 complete. 12-1 Cleveland. fourth inning. It all went right, and they capitalized. Talking about the Cleveland Indians. They got hit after hit after hit. 14 batters came to the plate. 10 hits, 10 runs. And Travis Hafner right there, he capped it off with a 3-run home run. Coors Light freeze camp for tonight. 8th inning action. And the Cleveland Indians will send it up 3-4-5. Shin Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, and Travis Hafner against Josh Luecke, making his Safeco Field debut.
We'll actually get a pinch hitter for Choo. It'll be Travis Buck.
From Richland, Washington, a former A. Travis Buck with Oakland last year, 219. 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. A couple of years ago, Buck came here, I think it was his pro debut. He had a lot of friends and family here. 2-0. Base hit. Off the bench, sends it down into the corner. He'll get 2.
Another hitter's count for the Cleveland Indians tonight. 2-0. Turns it loose on a fastball and hits it down in the corner.
That was the problem Jason Vargas had. He was continually behind him. Guys started loading up, and Jason wound up going just 3 1/3 tonight. 9 hits, 7 runs, all earned. Josh Luecke now will face the switch hitting catcher Carlos Santana. Luecke made his major league debut on Sunday. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts in the 7-1 loss at Oakland. All the Cleveland starters and now pinch hitters reach base tonight. All but Laporta to this point with a hit, and all the starters scored a run. Well, 2 strikes. Wish Adam Moore all the best. Torn meniscus, be out about 2 months. Tough break for that young man.
2 years in a row for Adam.
Jeez. Early in the season. Good pitch by Luecke. Strikes out Santana. 1 out, 1 on here in the 8th. Make sure you sign up for Root Sports Red Alerts. Get updates on when to watch your favorite team. Stay informed on the biggest events in Northwest sports and receive exclusive offers and giveaways. Just text FAN to 95323 and get in on all the action. Here's Hafner. Young Josh Luecke out of Covington, Kentucky. Ball 1. Luecke coming over with Justin Smoke, Blake Bevan, and Matt Lawson exchanged for Cliff Lee and Mark Lowe last July 9. Adam Everett's on deck to pitch hit. What a 1 1/2. A 4 RBI night for Travis. Here's Adam Everett. Two and 1. Mookie 4 stops along the way last season. Minor leagues. Hafner, center field, pretty much in the tracks. Ryan Langer hands. 2 outs.
Well, you're absolutely right, Dave. Hafner looks healthy. Every time he takes a swing, it's a line drive somewhere, it seems like. And coming into the game, he'd been one of the hot hitters for him.
Tell you what, the pen is a big hit on night 1. I don't know if you can squeeze too many more folks in there. Concession guys, they don't appear to be tapped out either. They're happy about it. Keep coming. Here's Adam Everett. It's been his last.
I was going to say that. I think that'll be a popular place this summer.
Yep.
Especially with the way they have the bullpens now. Fans are right there on top of the guys watching them get loose.
On 1 to Everett. Swing. This last 2 years with Detroit for Adam. Tigers designated him for assignment last June. He signed in December with Cleveland. And Lukey blows him away. So Lukey gives up a leadoff double, then gets a couple of strikeouts. Nice 8th inning for the young man in his home debut. 12-1 Cleveland.
Angie Mentink at the Northwest Sports Desk out on the move. Now, the Angels were kind of like Mariner fans. They were expecting a big night on their opening day, but it didn't work out that way for them. And in the 8th inning, it's Jason Nix in a tie game. He unties it. He jacks his 2nd home run of the year. It is the game winner, and the Blue Jays end up taking it. Dave, back up to you.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. The Blue Jays with the W. They go 5-2 on the season. Baltimore's off to a good start. I don't know what Buck Showalter's doing, but they've got probably the best record since the date he took over in August last year.
It was amazing to watch him come in there in August, just what they did to finish the season. They've obviously made a lot of adjustments to that team, but they couldn't win a game, and he came in there and turned it around quickly.
They've added some interesting personnel. I've always been a big Derek Lee fan. He's at first. Vladdy's out there. Vlad Guerrero.
Saw him hit a home run yesterday.
Yep. Adam Jones continues to blossom. He had watched a little bit of their game finish yesterday. He had come off about a 3 for 19. Then he went 3 for 3 and knocked in a couple of runs out to win a ball game. 3-2 to Milton Bradley. Bradley cussed and smoked 3-4-5 here in the 8th. Justin Germano working his 2nd inning. Milton tonight looking to hit the ball hard. maybe get a base hit here. Hasn't gotten it out of the infield yet. A couple strikeouts and a ground out. Leadoff walk here in the 8th. He's just 7 inches tall, but comes with a Cy Young Award, and he can be yours tomorrow when the Mariners meet the Indians. That's right. If you're one of the first 20,000 fans, you're going to take home a Felix Hernandez Cy Young bobblehead, courtesy of Root Sports. Get your tickets at Mariners.com. Felix Hernandez, the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the American League. Jack Cust looks at a strike. One, two. So just Jason Vargas. Seems like it was eons ago. Rough outing, 3 1/3, 9 hits, 7 runs, all earned.
Give him credit. Still on the bench.
How about that?
A lot of times, guys, when they have the type of night that he had, they're up there showered right now. He's out there with his teammates. Tough night.
1 and 2. Mariners with 4 hits. Jack has 1. 4th inning, 2-out double. And second time tonight, Jack strikes out. One out here in the 8th. Germano, his second strikeout. Boy.
They don't seem to care what the score is. They're staying around, having a good time.
I'll say. Reasonable temperature. Service is good. Crowd is good. What do you want?
First night of baseball for him.
Amen.
Elton having to tie his shoes over at first base.
Smoke with a solid base hit to right. His last time up, 1 for 2 with a walk. Frank Herman. I know his uncle. He's from back in New Jersey, East Rutherford area. Frank Vuno, if you're watching, hello to Frank back in New Jersey. Fly ball center field. Brantley will take care of this. Two outs in the Mariners' 8th. As good an offensive explosion as I've seen in a lot of years. 4th inning, Indians sent 14 batters to the plate. They scored 10 times on 10 hits. 2 outs for Miguel Olivo. There's the big inning. Good news, it's only game 7. See if Olivo can avoid the golden sombrero. He struck out 3 times.
Jamie Wright throwing in the Mariners pen. I don't know if he's just getting some work in, or if he's actually going to pitch an inning.
Well, he's been good. Spring training, first couple appearances here in the regular season.
have to lean on him. He's one of the veterans out in the pen.
How about the fact that that guard could be asked to do overtime because the fans are right on top. Line drive right to Everett. Right on top. That's one of the new features. You can really see everything going on in the bullpen out there as Jamie Wright gets ready, and he is going to get the call. To the ninth we go in a 12-1 Cleveland lead. Go field the home opener for the Mariners. Time now for the Home Depot, doing more on defense. And here's probably the best part of the Mariner night, it looked like, with Ichiro moving. Line drive to Hanahan. They double him up, and basically the Mariner offense has not been heard from since. They did get a fifth inning, Ichiro RBI. But on the night, the Mariners with just a run on 4 hits. Here's Jamie Wright. Jamie is the 5th Mariner pitcher. Vargas, Wilhelmsen, Laffey, Lukey, and now Wright.
See the numbers for Jamie from last year. ERA at a 4.17. 58 1/3 innings pitched for him.
Rock solid spring. Didn't give up a run. He'll face the bottom third of the Cleveland order. Kearns, Laporta, and Hanahan. Sellout 45,727. Many of them en route home. Better days ahead for the Mariners.
See them come out tomorrow and get an early lead. They haven't done that this year. It seems like they're always fighting from behind. Get an early lead. Your pitcher something to work with.
Did he go? No, sir, says Greg Gibson. Doug Fister gets the start tomorrow. Justin Masterson will oppose him. Eric Bedard Sunday at 1:10 first pitch. Josh Tomlin for Cleveland. Went that time. Strike 3 on Kearns. He's gone. One out, top of the ninth. Hey, when you're traveling outside the Northwest this season, take the Mariners with you wherever you go. Subscribe to MLB.TV today. You'll see every Mariners game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Mariners.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Drive turns Ichiro around all the way back. Can't get it. One hop off the fence. Hanahan make that Laporta with a double. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Foul left side. This time he drives it to right center for a double.
Look at Ichiro trying to get back. Just can't quite get there as it bounces off the warning track.
So Laporta, his first hit. And a sac fly drove in a run back in the fourth. Scored a run after he walked in the fifth.
He was the last Cleveland Indian starter to check in with a base hit.
There's Hanahan. Jack with a double. RBI single, fly out and a strikeout looking. Ball and a strike. Some kind of sinker, doesn't it?
Heavy sinker. She has her glove ready.
Especially for sitting down close. Be alive. Laporta, he's at second base.
Good looking breaking ball from Jamie. Right there.
Up the middle. Kennedy throws at Hanahan. Porter takes third. Here's Brantley again as we get back to the top of the order. This is his sixth plate appearance. He's got 2 hits. Kennedy will wrap that up and does. Scoops to Smoke, and then he'll do it for the Tribe. Bottom third of the order for the Mariners. Last ups 12-1 Indians.
7-run deficit. Hi, friends. Angie Mentink here at the Northwest Ford Sports Desk. We're out here in the pen presented by Root Sports, and this is a chance to remind you that we've got a big day of Pac-10 baseball for you coming up on Root Sports. Beaver Nation, you can check out Oregon State in action against the ASU Sun Devils. Other viewers will see the Washington State Cougars host UCLA in Pullman. First pitch is at 1 o'clock on Root Sports. That's tomorrow. Dave, back up to you.
Thank you, Angie. Sounds like you're having a heck of a time down there. Not bad. Pretty good duty. I'm sure you've signed up in ink for the rest of the home season. 12-1 as Frank Herman takes over. Third pitcher tonight for the Cleveland Indians. Adam Kennedy will be his first hitter.
Herman had a nice spring. ERA at a 1.69. 5 strikeouts for him. Just allowed 2 runs.
Kennedy 0 for 3. Out on 4 hits for the Mariners. Herman in 40 games with Cleveland last year, 0-1. 4.03 ERA, had a save. Struck out 24, walked 9. Solid base hit for Kennedy down into the corner. Travis Buck will dig it out. 5th Mariner hit.
It's a fastball, middle in. He can pull his hands inside close to his body to get the barrel to it.
There's Brendan Ryan. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, run scored. When we play the A's, we saw, who was it? Craig Breslow's from Yale, right? Breslow?
Yes.
Frank Herman, where'd he go? Harvard. A couple of Ivy Leaguers facing the Mariners in his first week of action.
So he has a good arm. He's 93, 94 miles an hour with his fastball.
Here's a base hit, a gapper with a running here as Kennedy's going to go first to third. Nobody out.
Some rally hats. They haven't given up. It's a fastball, hits it out into the gap in right center field. Kennedy gets over to third without any problem.
Thank all the fans for their texting in and emailing in comments, their thoughts about Dave Niehaus on opening day, opening night, which you're running at the bottom of the screen, and we encourage you to keep them coming. Here's Langerhans. He's walked 3 times. On that one, 1-1. Herman, a good football player and a baseball player. He's a quarterback at safety in high school. Proved to play at several Big East schools. And chose Harvard because Harvard would let him play baseball and football. And eventually settled on playing baseball.
He's a smart guy. It's worked out good for him. He's in the big leagues.
Back in 06 as we look at the Mariner runners, Kennedy and Ryan. Not Langerhans, 3-1. He's
walked 4 times in the game.
Not bad. He's a pitch away. A 4-walk night for Ryan Langerhans. they have it. How about that, huh? Loads them up.
That will not make the manager happy.
What a 12-run lead.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, 12-1 lead. My goodness. Now, how many times do you have that happen to you? A 4-walk game. You might get 4 walks in a week.
Me, never.
Because you were hacking.
I was hacking.
Hey, if I can reach it, I'm swinging, baby. Absolutely. That's unusual, man.
It really is.
All right, what the hey? Here's Ichiro with the bases loaded. One hopper to the second baseman Everett. He'll get the out. One out, run, drop, safe. How about Laporta dropping the ball? Run scores. Everybody safe. Bases loaded. So E3.
Ichiro will pick up his second RBI of the game.
Wow.
Turns around and clank. He was trying to find the bag, took his eye off the ball, trying to find out where the base was.
So a run in, it's 12-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. 45,727 were here at the beginning of this game. Considerably fewer now. They're holding out some hope here. 1-2 to Figgins. Mariners are down 1-0 as they headed into the bottom of the first. Ichiro led off with a single. They put the hit and run on. Befiggy had a sharp line drive to the third baseman. They doubled up Ichiro. Not much heard from the offense since then. 5th inning, RBI Ichiro single. Now he's driven in another one here in the 9th. There are your runners. Ryan, Langerhans, and Ichiro. The pitch. Fouled off. So Vinny Pistano starting to heat up. Frank Herman in some hot water here. The Mariners trying to turn up the boil. 1-2 to Figgins. Left center. Coming over to get it is Kearns. Ryan bluffed and holds. So 1 out, bases loaded for Milton Bradley. Milton tonight, a couple strikeouts, a ground out and a walk. Strike 1 on the Milton. And he started with a Kennedy base hit, followed by Ryan with a base hit. Langerhans walks. Ichiro put it in play, and the first baseman couldn't hold on. Milton trying to get 4 for 1 swing.
He had a couple of fastballs right there to hit. Swung through him. Tried to paint the outside corner.
It's the first inning that the Mariners have bunched up hits, multiple hits. All the other previous 4 hits were all solitary efforts. There's battle here by Milt. 2-2.
Yeah, he went out in right center field. Nice gap.
Langerhans a good runner. Ichiro Hit 37, still can burn them up. 2-2 to Bradley. Pitch from Herman. Put it in play. On to third for the force is Hanahan. Run scores. 12-3. RBI fielder's choice Bradley scoring Ryan. They get the force on Langerhans. And now they're 2 outs. Jack Cust, strikeout double, fly to left, strikeout. Yeah, that was an old kind of swing. Because had he hit it, there's no telling how far. He might have been able to match Hafner's home run for distance. Travis Hafner, a 3-run homer off the facing of the restaurant. It was back in that 4th inning when the Tribe scored 10 times on 10 hits with 14 hitters coming to the plate. Breaking ball over 1-2.
Sure Jack didn't like it. Top of the strike zone.
Down to the last strike. Two balls, 2 strikes to Jack Cust. 2 on. Mariners down 12-3. Indians have banged out 17 hits. So 6 for the Mariners. Here we go, 2-2 now. Let's go through the signs one more time. Two and 2 to Jack Cust. Strike 3 called. Wow. Sam Holbrook, the home plate umpire. Cust looks at a 3rd strike, and this one is over. 12-3 Indians, not the home opener the Mariners are looking for. The good news, tomorrow is another day.
It is another day. No need to lose any sleep over this one tonight. It was over early in the ball game. Guys just need to put it to bed and come back tomorrow and try to win a game, see if they can still get this series.
And that they will do tomorrow. 6:10 first pitch. Doug Fister against Justin Masterson. For Mike Flowers, I'm Dave Sims.